So by now you're probably looking at catalogs, gardening catalogs, or scrolling online, trying to figure out what are you going to plant in 2026 among vegetables or flowers. One good place to start is with All America Selections to figure out, well, what are the winners? What are the good ones? All America Selections is an independent nonprofit organization that tests new, never-before-sold varieties for the home gardener. There's a whole season of anonymous trialing that goes on by volunteer horticultural professionals, and only the top garden performers are giving the AAS Winner Award designation for their superior performance. And all the AAS proceeds go into conducting the trials and promoting AAS winners, both old and new. And there's a lot of old AAS winners. This is an organization that goes back decades. Here to tell us more, it's Diane Blazek, the executive director of All America Selections. And golly, it's getting close to 100 years of AAS winners, Diane.
Yes, it is. Let's see. We were founded in 1932, so it's not too much longer. We'll be celebrating our century.
And it has expanded, I guess, to include a lot of other types of winners, like regional winners.
Yes. So when the organization was founded, everything was grown from seed, and it really was just annuals and edibles. So what we've done now is not only expanded from seed, but also vegetatively propagated annuals and perennials. And we also now have regional winners, as you mentioned. And what that means is if we get an entry in and it has some very specific regional benefits, when we look at the scores, we notice that, like, oh, okay, it didn't do well all over North America, but it did well in the Southeast or the Northeast or the Southwest. And that's how we determine regional winners.
And you also have a category called gold medal winners, but there aren't too many of those, are there?
No. There were way back in the beginnings in the 1930s and 40s, because that was considered, it had to be a breeding breakthrough, like just light years ahead of everything else that was being trialed or the comparisons. So we had quite a few in the beginning, and then we went through a lull. There was about 15 years we didn't have any gold medal winners. And then just recently, we've started to have a few more, and we do have two to talk about today. So I will wait until we introduce those. But
okay.
Yes, there are two in this batch of AAS winners.
All right. Well, let's get started then. Let's talk about vegetables first. Now, of course, my priority this time of year is looking for interesting tomato varieties to try. I always try a couple of new ones, as well as some old proven varieties that usually get repeat performances in my yard. And you do have a tomato in the 2026 vegetable winners list called the Bada Bing.
Yes, tomato Bada Bing. So it is a large cherry tomato. So we just put that notation in there in case people look at it and go, well, this is like a cocktail tomato. It's kind of in between. So it's in between a cherry and a cocktail size. The main thing is it's disease resistance, but I don't want to disregard the taste, the texture, the fact that it's very, very crack resistant, nice and juicy like you would expect from a cherry tomato. So we keep calling it more bang for the buck tomato.
It looks like, because it has an overall height of just 40 inches, that you could, with a large container, you could grow the Bada Bing tomato.
Yes, you could. We did not trial it in containers, but you definitely could. In fact, just this morning, I placed an order for a trade show I'm going to this summer, and we always want to show our new winners. So I went ahead and ordered it in either a 14 or 16-inch container. So hopefully it will be fine for that size plant.
And I guess if people were saying, well, what tomato variety is it like? I guess it's pretty close to maybe the Sweet 100.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one. And then there's another AAS winner from a couple of years ago called Crockini, and it was compared against those two, the Sweet 100 and the Crockini.
All right. And again, like you pointed out, it has resistance to septoria leaf spot, early blight, and late blight. Blight's a big problem, especially in humid climates.
Exactly. Yeah. And this one did win in the Southwest and the Southeast, as well as the Great Lakes and Heartland that has a lot of humidity, seeing as how I live there. So we do know that it did perform very well in those regions.
How many days is it to harvest on this one?
That was something else I just went over this morning. From transplant, it would be 65 days. So I'm thinking if you're sowing straight from seed, probably 80 to 90 days.
Okay. Yeah, usually, I mean, the good part about planting tomatoes from seed is they come up fairly quickly, usually within a week to 10 days, unlike pepper seeds. And
Right.
and once they're up, they start growing fast. So it's only a few weeks after they're up and growing that you'd be able to transplant them.
Correct. Yes.
All right. So that, again, the Bada Bing tomato. Now, it's not a national winner, but it sure sounds like it would be fairly adaptable across the country.
Exactly. It was 4 regions. And so, usually when it gets to 4 regions, it's very close to being a national winner. So, yeah, this one, I would feel pretty confident in pretty much everywhere. We just know that it did superbly well in those 4 regions.
Well, when it comes to tomatoes, usually there's some basil involved. And sure enough, you do have a basil winner for 2026, the Treviso.
Yes, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but one of the main things here is, again, its disease resistance to the basal downy mildew, which is just becoming more and more of a problem. From what I've been told, every year it's almost a new race. So these things just continue to change and evolve. So people are breeding and changing and evolving right with it. And so this one is resistant to the latest races, but it also still has that wonderful basil taste. And it's really a kind of shorter mounded basil that has short internodes, between each leaf where it attaches to the stem, which means you get a lot of basil and it's super easy to harvest. So that's all the benefits of trying basil Treviso.
What I like about your website at aaswinners.com, when you go into the details about each of the plants we're talking about, there is a category called Judges' Observations, and you can learn a lot about the plant from that, like reading about the Treviso basil by the judges. They like it because it has a good growth habit, it's tolerant of heat, good for containers, very little damage from Japanese beetles, good fragrance, good performance. And one note here by one judge, late to flower, which is an excellent trait to have for a basil plant, because even though those flowers do attract a lot of bees, it can, shall we say, take away from the flavor of the leaves.
Right, right. And in fact, in reading that list of judges' comments, they even said that the leaves do resist becoming bitter. So that's really another good trait there.
All right. So again, that is the Treviso basil. And coming up, I mean, we are just in the start now of the 2026 seed season, so to speak. And coming soon to aaswinners.com, you'll have a list of retailers where people can buy these seeds.
We do, yeah. For years, everybody said, well, where can I find them? Where can I find them? They always want the newest thing. So we started adding that to our website a couple of years ago, and we just renewed our website, revamped it and everything. So we will have the retailer availability soon. Our goal is to always have it by January. I know some people are wanting to buy right now, which you can always just Google it and see if you can find them. But yeah, by January, we will have our website updated with retailers who offer these AAS winners.
In some instances, seeds aren't available, but there are plants available, and you just have to be aware of that.
Correct. Yeah. And that is usually the case with our vegetative or our perennial winners if they're not started from seed. But when it is a seed variety, it kind of both. There's a ornamental one we'll talk about in a little bit, and I'm pretty sure it'll be available as both seeds and plants.
All right, moving on in the vegetable category of 2026 AAS winners. If you want to hear the rest of the 2026 All-America Selections winners, and there's about another half hour's worth of discussion about them, you need to become a paid subscriber. Coming up for paid subscribers here on the Beyond the Garden Basics newsletter and podcast, we'll be talking about award-winning vegetables and flower varieties such as basil, pole beans, kale, winter squash, as well as several flowering plants, including a Coreopsis winner, Dianthus, Heliopsis, a Rudbeckia, a sedum, and a gold medal winning zinnia variety. All that awaits paid subscribers to the Beyond the Garden Basics newsletter and podcast. Don't forget that paid subscribers also get complete access to the library of all the newsletter editions, which now number close to 300. And the full newsletter and podcast features a human-powered transcription of the podcast, which puts those AI-generated transcripts to shame that you're going to find on some of those podcast players out there. Plus, it lets me know that I'm doing something worthwhile here that you find of value, even if perhaps it's only occasionally. The Beyond the Garden Basics podcast and newsletter comes out twice a week on Mondays and Fridays. Some are for paid subscribers, some are for everybody. So thanks for becoming a paid subscriber. Just click on the subscribe link in the newsletter to keep the good research-based gardening information coming your way. And when you do, you'll get the entire podcast and the complete newsletter, including the transcription. Thank you for listening and reading the Beyond the Garden Basics newsletter and podcast.